in Western Kansas.
All right,
Equity
here we
Bank.
go.
FDIC.
We're on.
Pest making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pestaway in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pestaway today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
When you gotta go, but there's nowhere to go, who are you gonna call? Topside Portables and Pumping, that's who. Weddings, job sites, farm parties, they've got clean, reliable porta potties that don't stink, literally. And if your septic tank smells worse than last year's chili cook-off, they'll pump it out fast. No mess, no fuss. Family owned, Heartland values, always ready. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. When Duty calls, they answer.
This fall, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware has everything you could need. Keep your lawn strong with Ultimate Winterizer, the best defense before the frost. Warm up your evenings and create memories with a new fire pit. Or bring home the flavor with a great selection of grills and smokers from
Okay, we're good.
Stone, Green Egg, and more. And right now, the lumber prices are low, and so are the temperatures, making it the best season to tackle those outdoor projects. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colton. Open every day but Sunday.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation, $7,000 off an eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 2016 Arcadia, 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss is $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Midland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Ready? Watch out, It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor, the new guy. The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it?
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in, touchdown, Cowboys!
Pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit, here comes McMahon, he'll score, ball game!
The Blitz is presented by Earl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Winter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakland.
Let's go to work. Oh, good pass across the lane from right to left. Haggerty for Griff, and you heard the rattle of the rim there. Kamari McGriff with 4.
Caceres with 4. Caceres outside left to Hargreaves again. Works to the top of the key. The angle's on him. Hargreaves comes off that pick. Guys down the lane. Scoop shots out there. And the Buffs have taken that lead.
Long rebound to Elias repeated. Back to Avi. He'll try it again. And got that one. He gets this one off. It's a high moving kick. Jones assesses. Backpedals to the 7 on the near side. He gets it to the 10. Down to the 15. Sprints to the 20. Along the numbers to the 30. Outside the 40. And Gillen slows him down for a second. He breaks him on the sideline to the 20. 15, 10, all the way. Touchdown, Marcus Jones.
Well, good morning, everybody. We are broadcasting live here this morning from what is Sherman County. It's match day here today on a remote broadcast for the Morning Blitz. Ross Volkmer and Connor Schuh, glad to be with you here. 7 o'clock this morning, and well, they'll be doing this till 7 o'clock. We won't be going 7 to 7. No. Could you only imagine that? Oh my Lord!
I think
we would. Pretty sure, yeah, in 3 hours. Not to mention 12. But hope everyone's having a good start to their December 2nd. It's certainly been an eventful one. here getting set up for this remote and having some technical issues as there always are, but we are off and rolling here on this Tuesday morning, and we hope that a lot of people make their way down to the Price Convention Center, which is where we are broadcasting live. Anytime between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. today, and be a part of Sherman County Gibbs Match Day. And it's Match Day really across all of Northwest Kansas. There's stuff going on in Colby. There's stuff going on in Bird City. There's things happening all over the place, Connor. And it's just a great day for Northwest Kansas where, once again, this is the 10th annual Match Day. There's other places that have had longer or shorter, but it's a great, great cause, and look forward to being here. And I'll be broadcasting live after the show from here with updates and stuff from people. We got a few people filing in here, lots of great different causes that you can come support. And then, of course, Sherman County Community Foundation will help match that as well. So we got a full day ahead for you here from Sherman County Gibbs Match. And, of course, a full show here on Goodland Talk 1025 as we have, of course, our wonderful edition of the Morning Blitz. And we're also, of course, broadcasting live on the Earl Chevrolet GMC video stream on YouTube, Facebook, and X. And so we appreciate anybody tuning in that you can do so here on this Tuesday. It's first and foremost, weather-wise, look at it's a whole much better day than it was yesterday. Already you feel it.
Yeah, I don't mind waking up to 25 rather than 15 and snow all over the car. I think yesterday was the first time I actually had to brush snow off. But today, it's nice and dry. And I do like the snow, of course, but we'll take this.
It feels a lot nicer out there. If you haven't been outside yet, it is certainly a lot nicer of a day. 25 degrees. Currently, the temperature outside, and wait till high in the mid-50s. So any of the white stuff that is remaining around is probably going to be gone by the end of today. But I would say don't get too attached to that because, unfortunately, things are going to happen where it's what can I say? It's not going to be super nice in the coming days. Temperatures back into the 30s at this point in time. But we got a full show ahead for you today here on the Morning Blitz. Hope you'll stick around for the full hour, or just come by and see us here live broadcasting at the Price Convention Center in Goodland for Sherman County Gibbs Match Day. But today we'll be visiting with Goodland Cowgirl basketball coach Bill Birmingham decided to come join us here in the remote studio. If you want to call it, he'll join us here from the Price Convention Center to talk about the upcoming season for the Goodland Cowgirls. Well, I would say, now, if you're not visiting with Bill Birmingham, but just kind of knowing him and following that team for as long as I have, expectations are high this year for Goodland Cowgirl basketball. And by that, I mean trying to get back to the state tournament where they've spent a lot of time over the previous few years. But I think the expectations will be high for this team that once again lost in the sub-state title game last year to a really good Fulton team that went on to state and finished in third place. But then, Goodland returned a lot of their pieces while Colby graduated a lot of their pieces. So we'll visit with Bill about that coming up here in segment 2. Connor's got a great question coming up in segment 3. We're talking about the college football hiring cycle that's been going on. There's been a ton of names that have happened, and we will be discussing who's the best hiring. I almost want to say what's the most interesting hire of the coaching cycle.
I think we did both.
Yeah, good. So we'll try and get that done. And then we'll get some other news in the college football coaching world as well, including some thoughts on the Lane Kiffin situation coming up here in just a little bit. But before all that, I want to quickly just do a quick recap. Last night, K-State and Colorado basketball played. Colorado came from behind and got the win over Cal Baptist. By the way, it was the first loss for Cal Baptist on the season last night. But Colorado came from behind. And just a fun stat here in Colorado. I don't spend a lot of time, but they went 78-70. They moved to 8-0 for the first time since 1949. It has been a while since they have been there. But 1949, the last time that the Colorado Buffaloes were unbeaten this far into the basketball season. But they get the win last night, coming from behind to beat Cal Baptist 78-70, which is a lot better score than what happened last night in Manhattan, where the Wildcats lost at home convincingly 82-66 to Bowling Green. The question is this what is the Ross team call that? The
epitome of brutality. Yes.
Is that what you consider this an epitome of brutality loss?
I don't think so, because I think those have to be by games. And I don't think
those
are by game. This MAC, I think, is a slight cut above where you're getting by games from like Division II teams and very, very low level Division I, I think. So Bowling Green is kind of I think they're a little step above that. I think they're supposed to be good in the MAC this year. So I don't think it's a pretty bad loss for their at-large case for the NCAA tournament, but I don't think it's the end of the world.
Well, anyway, 82-66 the loss, a game where K-State trailed by 14 at halftime. The Falcons were white hot in the first half. They hit 9 first half threes and dominated the glass. David Castillo led the Cats with 22 points, while PJ Haggerty goes out there, had 17 points, but continued to really struggle from the field. Did you happen to check in this game? I watched a little bit of it, and there's just some things that stand out to me about this, and I want to dive into this a little bit. But before I do that, I want to play some audio from Coach Tang, and you want to talk about a disappointed man post-game? That would have been Jerome Tang following once again the 82-66 loss to Bowling Green, the third loss in a row for the K-State Wildcat basketball team.
Very, very disappointing. I want to apologize to our fans. Let me start with the people who outside letting people in the parking lot, right? Freezing out there, snow. Have to clear the parking lot so that, we can come to the game, we get a chance to be inside, 72 and sunny, and we give that kind of effort. And I know what kind of effort our staff put in preparation for this game, and for us not to have that mentality, that's so disappointing. And I wouldn't have want to watch that. I had to stay and watch it. I would have walked out with some of these guys a lot earlier. It's just so disappointing in the effort that was given, and for us to only have 3 assists in the second half. In the first half, it was still like everything was one-on-one, and I don't know why I felt so prepared because it didn't look like we was prepared. But
yeah, so Jerome Tang very disappointed after that loss last night, and understandably so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what to really say on that whole ordeal. We talk about it's a tough situation to be in right there for Jerome Tang. They've now lost to Nebraska, Indiana, and Bowling Green. They're 5-3. Here's the thing, and I think I saw some text messages coming in the EpiBank text line, 785-899-2222 if you want to be part of the Morning Blitz. But love to hear from you this morning, get your thoughts in. But here's the thing. I think that if you're Jerome Tang, I mean, you are in a spot that is just unfortunately for K-State, they got duped. I don't mean to say, I don't mean to be mean. I have nothing against anybody there, but they got duped.
In what way?
They got duped because Jerome Tang comes in, assembles the perfect roster in the first season, and it clicks.
Yeah.
And it leads to an Elite 8 deal. And what happens after that Elite 8? We got to go. We got to sign Jerome Tang to a longer, more expensive extension, or he's going to leave to go to Arkansas, wherever the heck that they were talking at the time. And ever since that extension, it has gone downhill pretty much the whole time.
It has. I don't know if it's his transfer decisions or just the guys that he picked up just were never going to gel, but I think it's too early to, I guess, get worried about this year. But I see what you mean. Like last year was an absolute disaster, and this 3-game losing streak, there's definitely signs where it kind of looks like it's going to be something like last year. You really hope not, because there's still opportunity for growth later in the season and later in the non-conference even. But it's going to be a tough Big 12, so he's going to have to prove a lot if he wants to keep that job.
Listener Kyle, of course, coming in with a slew of questions this morning. One of them is about K-State. Do you throw in the towel yet and move on from Jerome Tang, who's really performed at Kent State? Well, we're just into that, obviously, right now, Kyle. But yeah, I don't want to say. Here's the thing. College basketball is so hard because every year you're starting over.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they caught lightning in a bottle that first year, and ever since then they have not been able to do anything close to that. Catch that kind of line. Now they've done the things. They've got high-priced talent. They've done that. I mean, especially last year, Doug McDaniel and Hawkins.
Yeah.
And then this year, they got the nation's leading scorer last year, and this year, PJ Haggerty.
He's been very good.
Here's the thing. It's just when you have a bunch of guys that are considered the best of the best, it's hard to put them. You need role players. You need guys, and I'm not saying State doesn't have those guys. They do. But it takes too much time for this team to gel together. By the time they gel together, they're already in a big hole. And so they have to keep some continuity over the course of each year. The problem is that's so hard to do. Every coach struggles with it. So it makes you question if Jerome Tang has the chops to continue to do this. I don't know.
And then also I think this year he got a very offensively inclined transfer class. A lot of those guys were your scores are Nate Johnson. They got out of accurate, but you look at it and you look at the performance last night, and it's not what you want. 26% from three, just 55% right, which is, I think that's a losing formula right there. if you can't hit if you can't score, if the team's built to score, you're going to have a lot of trouble because I think we talked about this a little bit earlier on in the first couple of games. They're to have outscore teams, and that's just, if it's not working against Bowling Green, you might have some trouble if it's a consistent team.
It just looks so offensively when I watch it. It just looks so stagnant. I mean, they just stand around. All right, we're going to wait PJ drive the ball and do something. That is not basketball. I know that's the way a lot of basketball is played, including at the junior college level. But, you need to be able to be moving, cutting. And then there was a big issue with rebounding last night. That was a huge problem. They had some big issues with the rebounding side of things. And so they've got to get that ironed out, too. And that's an effort thing. And that's a problem when you're 8 games in and you're not rebounding the ball. That's an effort thing. It's not like you're tired after 8 games.
And that lineup, though, I mean, I'm sure there's some guys who are banged up, but I mean, looking at their starting lineup, at least from last night, there's like no true big man in there. I mean, Griff, Shear, Haggerty, Johnson, Castillo, none of those guys are like real deal centers that you're expecting to go out there and grab a bunch of boards. So how are you going to rebound with that group?
Yeah, I don't know. They've got a lot of things they got to get figured out. And here's the thing: if you pull up Kansas State's schedule, it is not a cakewalk. And I tell you the truth, they could lose their next game. That's at home or somewhere against Seton Hall.
Yep.
Pulling that up here right now. I think it's home versus Seton Hall.
Seton Hall played well.
They have 1 loss. So they play Seton Hall coming up here on, I think that is Saturday or Sunday. That they play home versus Seton Hall. Then they have Mississippi Valley State, which you hope you win that game. That is a true buy game. Then they go on the road to Creighton, which is never easy to play up there. They're having a down year.
Yeah.
And then South Dakota and UNM on road. Or you have to open up Big 12 play. BYU and Minnesota, which are both top 10 teams. You're going to be in a huge hole. You're going to be in a big hole, and that's a concern if you're Jerome Pang. And so once again, I don't want to be. I don't like to say anything too bad about coaches, but I feel like K-State got duped. They got duped. The first year was so great, and it's been really average to above average at best the rest of the way, and they've been duped, and there's a lot of it. By the way, that crowd last night, I know part of it was the engineering on the microphone side. It was a morgue. It was a morgue. It was a morgue. There was nobody. There was literally almost nobody there. And second of all, on the crowd mic, which was, I think, an engineering issue, you could barely hear nothing. You could only hear the broadcasters. And that was bad. I thought, maybe they're doing a remote broadcast. Barely. It was a morgue. It was a morgue. And so, yeah, a tough showing there for Kansas State. That's a brutal deal, and they're going to have to figure that out here. Coming up here in the coming weeks. And like I said, I don't think the schedule is going to allow for that at this point in time. So, but K-State once again losers. Bowling Green 82-66. They have lost 3 in a row. Now, I'm going to give credit to Nebraska basketball. I think they've ruined K-State in the last couple of years. Maybe no, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they beat K-State in Manhattan, and K-State was doing good. And they kind of fell apart from that point forward. Well, guess what? They just lost to Nebraska for their first loss. They lost 3 in a row.
We said Kansas State was definitely going to win that game.
I did. I said
both of us.
Once again, their athleticism and stuff, I think, should overdo that. But athleticism and no team continuity hurts.
It's only so much.
You got to be better there.
Yeah.
You got to be better there. So, anyway. All right, we're going to take an early break here. I know we want to get to Lane Kiffin. We'll push that towards further back in the show. We'll talk about Lane Kiffin and some thoughts and John, all in with our college coaches carousel and what we think is going on there with college football. We'll get to that back in the show. But once again, we're out here broadcasting live. Sherman County gives match day at the Prize Convention Center. We're here for the show, and a little bit later on after that, come out here and be a part of the 10th annual match day. They have a $55,000 match pool that if you give, they'll match it. So, and it comes to one of multiple different areas here across Sherman County, and so take part of that here today. We'll take our first break. When we return, I mentioned Goodland Cowgirl basketball coach Bill Bierman will join us here live from Sherman County Gives Match Day. We'll talk to him about Cowgirl basketball and a slew of other topics I have for Bill Bierman on tap. We'll get to that next as he's surprised. We'll get to that next on the morning.
What was I supposed to do? I have homework. What do we got going on?
It's time for the Morning Blitz.
Your business was built right here. So was ours. At FNB Bank, we are not run from some distant city. We are run by neighbors for neighbors. We know what matters to you because it matters to us too. From local decisions to face-to-face service, we are here. Bank local, grow local, stay local. FNB Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice for people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-1111.
Yeah, I'm caught by the way.
That's me.
I've heard you many times.
Insurance agency. Insurance, the way it should be.
It's
There you
time
go.
for Achievement Records with the Anderson Trade Group on
There
the
you go.
Kansas Farm Ranch Radio Network.
I can't believe you're Cleveland Browns.
I can't believe it either, and I've been a fan for I've met one. That's about it. Yeah.
On the opposite.
Ooh. Oh, jeez, that's yes.
Kansas City hard-red winter wheat March was down 5 at 521. Nate KC wheat was down 4.
Now he's blaming the receivers.
July KC wheat was down 4 at 545.
Yeah. That's what happens when you sign a 42-year-old quarterback.
47,479. S&P is up 20 points at 6,846. NASDAQ is up 102 points at 25,493. Gold is down 32 points at 4,000.
Oh, no.
And
He has
oil
been there for a while.
58.93 a barrel. Throughout the Colorado area, have any grain to market or risk management questions?
Lost his fastball.
EMP for John Styles at 970-744-4484 or call the Overland Park office. Myself, Tom Slittle, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 917-484. Thank you.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
What's on your to-do list? Check your mail, get groceries,
too much of a
almost
legend.
getting your annual
Couldn't do it.
vaccine. We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do, because we've got you.
No.
Vaccine events and access to
We
transportation.
prove that every single year.
Or anymore. You've got it.
We've done it almost every year since we came
Disability
back.
Vaccination
from
Collaborative,
getting
powered by
taken to Baltimore.
funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. Learn more at
I wish I was around for that.
usaging.org.
LivestockMarket.com offers all the tools you need for a successful production sale. The easy-to-use online platform makes it super easy to take bids from anywhere in the world. Buyers can place pre-bids and real-time bids, browse your sales catalog, and watch your sale broadcast live. LivestockMarket.com is also the ideal platform for private treaty sales and timed online-only auctions. There's no easier way to find buyers for cattle, horses, sheep, and hay. Sell on your terms today with LivestockMarket.com.
Kansas E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. The car
That's just two things.
has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shop that buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn
Wakes
farm.
you up, right?
Use E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
It's the Morning Blitz.
We're having a great time, couple of laughs, everything's nice.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8 Mountain, 8 to 9 Central.
Once again, we are back here broadcasting live at the Sherman County Match Day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You come out to the Bryce Convention Center and be a giving soul today on what's a beautiful December day. You're also going to have coffee, donuts, pastries, here, soup served the rest of the day. I see the pastries over there. We haven't had Connor make his way over there yet, but I'm sure we'll get there at some point.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later, we'll make our way over there. But we're pleased to welcome into the broadcast. He's kind enough to join us here remotely. Not like he had an extra long trip to get here, but Goodland Cowgirl basketball coach Bill Berman joins us now. Good morning. I forgot. I got to do the intro. I got to do that again. Two-time state champion basketball coach, and probably the more important thing, considered one of the highest and most talented athletes ever come out of Wichita County High School. Bill Berman.
That's not even true.
Behind Steve Tasker?
You might get Steve Tasker.
Steve Tasker went to Wichita County. If you've ever been to Leota, I'm telling you, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. No offense, but it's out in the middle of nowhere. So for Bill Berman and for Steve Tasker and those guys to come from there, it's impressive. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You talk, we think we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You get down into Wichita County, Leota, there is not much.
Drive west of there, go to Tribune. And
oh yeah, Tribune, Syracuse. I'm telling you, there's not much. But Bill Berman with us here as we talk about Goodland Cowgirl basketball today and get some thoughts on that. First and foremost, you were all-state basketball though, weren't you?
Yes.
What year was it? 91?
90, 91.
Yeah, all-state basketball. We got to give the guy his props.
Those are good credentials. Yeah.
He had a great flat top and a great jump shot.
Oh, no.
That was very of the time.
That was the flat top of the era that then. Yeah.
Bill Berman was Hoosiers before there was.
We lived on Hoosiers that year.
That was great. But anyway, let's talk. First of all, I got to get to listener Kyle. He had a great question, and I do appreciate it. He goes, Goodland Cowgirl alum Lex Sweeter winning MIAA Player of the Week for the second consecutive. In 3 weeks. She's having unbelievable. What are your thoughts? I know you talked to her.
Yeah. She's doing great. She's logging a lot of minutes, and so those back-to-back games that they've had the last couple of times have wore on her a little bit, but she's doing great. Her confidence is where it's at. She's humble. She's playing hard. She's doing exactly what she needs to do, and so incredible players like that make coaches look good.
Yes.
Let's be honest. And so she's doing great. It's great to see her.
I remember when I was coaching Little League football, they said, we call those kids cologne. They cover up the stink. Not that there was much stink on that team. There was not. That was a very talented team, to say the very least. But no, it's been great to see her. I remember we were talking last year, and I said, I think she's going to be MIAA Player of the Year. In her tenure. I'd say what maybe this year.
Yeah, I think
we're on that way.
Stays put. Probably be back to back. She'll probably go down as one of the all-time Tiger greats. She's healthy. Got to stay healthy. You got to have a good around. You got to have a good team around you. I think she has a good team around her, good pieces around her. So she's certainly carrying the load for them this year. In the times I've watched her play.
You watch. There'll be big schools coming to talk to her if they want. If they haven't already.
KU, Kansas State.
I went to the KU game and watched her play.
She lit them up.
I felt like she was the third best player on the floor.
Ooh.
There's two KU players are really good. Their freshman is really good, and then Samaya is a great player. But I believe she was third best player on that floor that night. So we'll see.
Alexa Weeder is a walking bucket. There's no way about it. She is a walking bucket. She is good. Let's talk about this year Cowgirl basketball team. I was saying as we got going here on the show, last year, kind of to an extent, starting over with some pieces that hadn't played a ton of significant minutes, but developed over the course of the year and made it all the way to the sub-state title game, losing to a very, very good Colby team that went on and finished third at state. Had a great run there. And now this year, you return the majority of those pieces, minus, of course, a really good role player in Marie Martin and a few other pieces as well. So I'm guessing there's some confidence in that locker room for Goodland Cowgirl basketball this year, based upon the girls, what they think.
Yeah, I think the girls get some good high expectations this year. The girls are pretty motivated. Certainly getting back to Hutch is a goal we have, and yet we're not going to talk about that much as we just focus on the beginning of the year here. And certainly got things to accomplish here at the beginning of the year. But we bring back some experience. We bring back some hungry players, and some girls who've been in the program for a while and want to prove what they're capable of. So I'm excited about the year.
How has the improvement looked from your perspective, from the end of last year through the summer where you guys would get together quite a bit to where you stand now a couple weeks into practice?
Yeah, it's been, I could go back to last year and kind of felt like the last month of the year, we kind of finally got some things figured out. We're doing well and playing really good. I was excited to play in the sub-state. It was late in the second quarter against Foley, a really good team. So I think we built it from there. And this summer they built on that. We did really well this year. We won a couple of tournaments. The girls kind of came together again, figured out roles and pieces there. In the summer, we never really have all of them together. It's like these 3 or 4 can go to this one. We pull up some girls and we kind of mix match of it. And that last one, we had everybody, and it kind of showed what we're capable of.
When you look at your team this year, what is the big strength that stands out to you?
I think I got great balance. You talked about the Lex led us on those teams and stuff like that. This year we have a really good balance. We had that last year. I mean, might lead us one night, Hope might lead us another night. Alex Pierce capable of leading us more. I mean, any of our starters are capable of that. We bring a new player into the fold this year, Emily Gray, and she'll do great. She's capable of once we get her up to speed in what we do and how we do it, she can just play and not be thinking so hard like she is right now. So I think our balance on a nightly basis is our shooting.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up an interesting point. Not only do you have this great returning core, but then you bring in this great young talented transfer player. Like you said, needs some development and time. And then you also, of course, you've got some, I don't know how much this for, but you got some talented freshmen, at least some pretty good athletes as well.
Yeah, certainly like David Weibel and some pieces there are capable of challenging on the varsity. The thing is, this year, the good thing this year is we don't need them this year. So you and I have talked about in the past and other teams how when you force players into the varsity lineup when they're not quite ready, it's kind of a mixed bag. Yeah, they're good enough to play them, but they're not ready and they lose confidence, and that takes a lot out of them. So that's what's nice about our team this year. We got these seniors, very senior laden in that facet, and yet we got some good young players coming up, so we could just develop them and spot them pieces, build their confidence, and certainly as Hope, Luke, Warren, and Al, and Jason leave, the cover's not bare. I mean, we'll have others coming. McKenna Shig, Aiden Shorts had a really good summer. She's doing good here in the fall already. She'll be ready to take over, and so it's a nice mix.
And McKenna Shig, let's not forget, she had a huge game at Ellsworth in the second round of the postseason. And that's the thing, if you have a night where, someone gets a little bit of foul trouble, you can dig a little bit into that bench. And like you said, you're probably not going to have a humongous drop-off, which is such a blessing.
Yeah, that first state title, you go back to that, we really just played 6 girls that all year. Foul trouble could hit us every now and then. Lexi got in foul trouble. I remember that. Reminiscing now, right? But in the state tournament game, we were in foul trouble. And Hope was just a little freshman. And I looked at Hope in the second quarter and said, get in there. She was like, well, what's going on? And on the bench, even though she was going to get in that game probably. But this year's a different team. In fact, it might be hard for me to probably get some girls into the game who probably in a way deserve it just with their effort, practice time. I've been in the program, but unless foul trouble or girls get tired, 3-day tournaments will be different too. It'll be tough to get some of them on the floor.
Bill Bierman is our guest here, joining us live as we broadcast from Sherman County Gibbs Match Day here on this Tuesday. You mentioned we talked about the team and stuff, and the development. Do you like where you sit here going into what is game 1 on Friday when it comes to practice and how things have gone?
I felt really good until we screwed still on Saturday, and then Coach Green wasn't there. Might have been a 2-whistle practice yesterday. So I felt good about it, and we kind of sunk up the floor and forgot what our foundation is and just playing hard on Saturday. But, there's been scrimmages in the past I walked away with and just shook my head at it. So you try not to read too much into that. But other than that, I feel good about where we are. There's certainly experience. It's not like I'm teaching a bunch of girls new things. And so we're just trying to get back up to speed and understanding how we got to play at the level we have to play.
Bill, when you look at the schedule this year, it's a little longer. A few more extra games, and I want to talk about the tournament we'll be heading to over east of Manhattan. I think it's the Flurry-on Flush.
Is that what they're calling it?
I don't know. I'm telling you what it is. I'm not going to lie. It is the weirdest tournament name I've ever heard. I think it's called the Flurry-on Flush. Well, Flush is a town.
Flush?
That's what it says. I swear. I'm
a little bit down out there.
Flush is a town next to Rock Creek High School. Okay. But the Flurry-on Flush, which I guess has to do with snow. Flurry-on Flush basketball tournament. I admit I don't get it. What are your thoughts on that tournament? Because this kind of reminds me of many moons ago, back when you were coaching the boys.
Yeah.
Where we went to Salina to play the SIT. Yeah. And what are your thoughts on this tournament, playing some bigger schools? And I'm kind of curious, do you know how we kind of got involved in all that?
Well, actually, when they came out with that surprise, even though Keisha says, anyway, we won't go there. Surprise that we moved it to 23 games. There was this, what are we going to do? And thought out here in Western Kansas, where do we get 3 more games? We're already doubling league opponents that we're traveling 3 hours for. You know, it's not like I don't think Sharon Springs Tribune, some of the 1As would play. It's like, where are we going to go get these 3 games? And so pretty early, and it was let's just play a tournament. And then Rock Tree posted pretty early that they were going to start a tournament. It's not ideal that it's a week after Topside's like tournament, Scott City Tuesday tournament. So I don't like that part of it. But it felt like for this year, let's jump into that. And early it was like, who are they bringing? And they kind of shout out the teams. And we thought it was just going to be 4 teams early. And then all of a sudden they post what accounts mini state tournament. I mean, my goodness. Like early conversations weren't Heston, Silver Lake, Hayes. It's like, holy cow, he's all coming. Yeah, right. So now suddenly it becomes good night. Can we go in there and go 2-1? I mean, it's just going to be really tough and challenging, which is great for me in the season. You kind of want that test and everything. And we probably need that too, just with where we're at, to be tested like that, even if it's an L, but we can play well and challenge ourselves. We'll be okay. I'm excited to go see where we're at against those type teams.
I've seen the bracket. What is up with the open, like the top of the bracket? Also, Hayes is there, but then there's also Hayden and things like that that are not in the first round. I don't understand.
Well, I think this year it'll evolve probably. Some of those teams like Hayden was sitting that first one waiting, probably went out and grabbed them. Game 23 game. They went and grabbed them a game, committed a game, had 2 games left. So can we get in there, play 2? So I think that's what you're seeing in there. Some teams can play all 3 because they jumped in early. Some other teams are kind of piecing it together to fill it out and fill out their schedule.
They added this week and add 3 games. Is it a requirement?
No, you don't have to.
But I mean, what are your thoughts as a coach playing 3 more games? Is it considering once again the area where you are, the schedule you already have playing in the difficult league? What are your thoughts on 3 more extra games? I mean, it's extra basketball, even as a player. I mean, I don't know your thoughts on that. I don't know.
I'm indifferent on it.
Okay.
I wasn't begging for it. I wasn't like somewhere wanting more games. I think it's more of a Wichita, Kansas City, Topeka-driven field too, because they can just go across town and get games. Obviously, it's more of a challenge here. I'm still a coach who likes practice. I'm still a coach who likes to work on things. That's what bothers me early. But we play Friday night, turn around 3 games in Topside, Tuesday, and then we go to this tournament. Like, there will be not a lot of time to watch film, break things down, work on things, moving your fundamentals forward. You know, I'm big on this. Let's be playing our best basketball at the end of the year. And a lot of that is clean foundational type of things in here in December, 1st of January, in order to achieve that. So I'm going to have to adjust some things in order to still do that. But that's what this does now. It just kind of doesn't allow you to get practice time as much as maybe you'd like to.
Bill Bierman, our guest here. Let's let you go on this here. Let's get the Cowboys over the season here Friday at home against Cimarron, the Cowboys and the Cowgirls. What are your thoughts on having a former student and student athlete, student player, Dawson Ringer, being the head coach of the Bulls?
Well, that's good. You know, I got 1 year there. You know, when I did the guys for just that 1 year before we got Mikey ball back. I coached Dawson, so it's cool. You know, it's kind of cool to have him in the classroom. All it does is make me feel really old. and the reality is I am getting really old. So that's what it does. Dawson's doing a great job. I mean, I tell you what. I equate coaching to how many guys puked in the trash cans the first day. He's doing great. On that, he might have won the state championship at first. So he's getting after them. I mean, they're working hard. I'd like to see him. He put tape on down on the floor, talking about where we want to drive guys and push guys. I mean, fundamental man basketball. He's doing a lot of good things there. So he's doing well. I'm excited to see him. He doesn't have quite the talent they've had the last couple of years. He has some good pieces, and I tell you, they looked good the other night. I'm excited to see what
he is. A confident young man. He was when he was a player. He's a confident guy as a coach. I'm intrigued to see how this season rolls. For Dawson Ringer, that is for sure. How do you feel about the Jayhawks this year on the hardwood?
You know, I like them better coming in than the last couple. I wasn't a big Hunter Dickens fan.
Dickens fan?
Right. I felt like
didn't allow them to play at what they're capable of playing and how, and they just, I wasn't happy with that necessarily anyway. So I liked their team coming in, and certainly there was a little concern there early about what's going on, but man, excited after those 3 days in Vegas that we played. Had some guys step up and show, and when Peterson gets back, big game tonight against UConn. So, should be exciting. I think they're going to have a great year.
He is Bill Berman, Goodland Cowgirl head basketball coach, all-time Leota basketball great. You know what, Bill? If we can't have a good laugh on this show, I don't know. We're not having any fun then. So, but there is no doubt he is the Goodland Cowgirl basketball coach. Bill, look forward to talking to you on Friday for the season opener. Bill Berman, great stuff there with him, talking about Goodland Cowgirl basketball the season that is ahead. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will get to our final topics, talking a little bit about college football and the coaching carousel that is happening, including the Lane Kiffin situation and other news surrounding coaching changes in college football. It's next here on a Tuesday edition. Let's get more broadcasting from the Sherman Gibbs Match Day at the Price Convention Center in Goodland.
Radio is the place to turn to.
I apologize for that.
News and marketing. A member of the National Association of Film Broadcasters, pride in making sure you're informed of the latest news in the world of agriculture. Whether it's local, state, regional, or national, it affects your brand. You can count on hearing it here. Daily reports from Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio are made possible by Farmers State Bank, Norder Supply of Scott City, Cornerstone Ag, and Woofter Construction and Apron Kitchen.
This is running pretty smooth
for this holiday season. Holiday ready. Boarding, supply, and fresh news. Your deserves the best too. I know. Pets to start wishing you a Merry Christmas.
For God so loved the world that He gave us His only Son. This Christmas, remember the real reason for the season. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas from Donald Jewelry in downtown Colby.
A storm's rolling in, and Farmer Dale's garden barn is wobbling like Jello at a rodeo.
Yeah.
Discount Dave.
Wait. What?
Oh, dear God, yes. I'm angry about it.
And the Morton Man is here. Your
I
trusted.
had a technical issue. I have to go back.
But I've got 26 gauge strength and laminated chest.
Here's Steve.
Oh, he got you with the ticket too.
Don't just build like a hero with super van.
All I'm trying to do is, it's a time-driven deal.
Intelligent,
Anybody else
they
back
were
at the station?
trained, and they look good. Check out the arrivals of new frames. What a collection of eyeglass frames in right now at Scott City Eye Care. They remind you to have
Everybody
one
did.
eye.
Everybody
Dr. Goodman is saying thank you for your business.
Next Tech Wireless, get the iPhone 17 on us.
They got me in Best
iPhone
City.
17
Of all
comes
places.
with full colors, a brighter 6.3-inch display.
That's what everyone's been telling me. No,
because capture super high-resolution shots with the advanced 48.
And it wasn't even in town when I was in
flexible
that
ways
city.
to bring your shot with dual capture video for simultaneous front and rear recording. Next Tech Wireless, connecting Kansas.
They're sitting on like the side of the road with their lights off. I couldn't even see them.
Stockings in your kitchen. Kitchen J Repair and Colby. Beatable prices on appliances to make your holiday prep a snap. Watch switches your next holiday.
He's like,
Merry Christmas from H&J Repair in Colby.
The wait is over. The Office Works and Home Furnishings anniversary sale is happening now. Find incredible savings on Serta beds, Lazy Boy furniture, and so much more. Hurry in. It's all going on now at Office Works and Home Furnishings.
Range in Colby. Talking to you.
Whether it's touchdowns, home runs, or buzzer beaters, we've got you covered. It's the Morning Blitz.
Yeah, he's rich. It's election.
Once again, welcome back to the Price Convention Center here in Goodland as we are broadcasting live for Sherman County Gives Match Day. And Ross Volkmer, Connor Schuh here for the next 10 minutes or so as we wrap up the show. It's been a fun show. Stressful to get going, obviously, as it always is. I swear, I told you on Monday after the show, I said, we'll see what kind of technical difficulties we have. Because taking the show on the road and doing everything that we do with the video and all that stuff, it's very, very difficult. And something's going to happen. And, of course, we had a failure issue there, but and then that resulted in more headache. But, we'll push through. We're here and nonetheless going to get a donut to fix everything and make our day feel better. Donuts and pastries, coffee. Currently, right now, they have soup served throughout the day here at the Price Convention Center in Goodland for Sherman County Gives Match. And of course, I'll be here broadcasting more throughout the day. If Connor was hanging around Canada, otherwise he can get back to Colby. But anyway, we got to wrap up our show today. I'm excited to get into this topic. Connor brought up this question on the rundown, talking about the best hiring or maybe the most interesting stories of the coaching style cycle, and there's been a lot of those. I'm kind of curious, where are you starting off in this when it comes to the college football coaching carousel that has been taking place? We've had a lot of questions answered here over these last few days.
Well, I think the most interesting story is the Lane Kiffin one, unfortunately. But I'm going to put a pin in that for now because I think we both have more to say.
More questions on that
situation. But I think the hiring I like the most is there's a lot of good group of 5 coaches that got poached here at the end of the season, and you don't really see that. Well, you do see that, but there were a ton of guys who are coming from these American Conference schools who were in the conversation for potentially the actual playoff, but they decided to jump ship. And I think one of my favorites is the heir apparent to Curtis Leggett, James Madison, Bob Chesney. He's going to UCLA.
Interesting hire. So interesting. He hasn't ever been west of the Mississippi.
I don't think so. But
and so, I mean, no doubt he's a winner.
Yeah.
He started at real low level stuff and he's won everywhere.
I think it's fun though.
It's interesting. I'm kind of surprised, and I think it's because they had things kind of in the works for a while.
Yeah.
You know who would have been a great fit there?
Who's that?
Jonathan Smith, the coach who was at Michigan State.
Yeah, but
he's
now
a West Coast guy.
his stock is through the floor.
I don't think he got a fair shake. How many coaches can turn? And he got handed the whole Mel Tucker deal.
His quarterback got hurt too.
He got handed a plate full of food, is what he got.
No one wants to be involved with Michigan State after that.
Except for Pat Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald is going to be the next head coach of Michigan State. And to me, that is one of the most interesting hires because I think Patty Fitzgerald, despite having a horrific end to his tenure at Northwestern, where I think they won 4 games over his last 3 years.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
They weren't very good, but I feel like that guy can coach football.
He's good.
So that is one of those hires that truly intrigues me. Something else that stands out about Coach Carousel is the Alex Golish contract at Auburn. I think it's way to be. He's making around $5-6 million a year, but it is so incentivized. If you win this many games, you get this pay bump. If you win this many games, if you make this, if you win a bowl game, I think more contracts in college athletics need to be incentively driven. You're going to make banks of $5 million, $6 million, and that's fine. But if you want to make more money, go win.
Go make the playoff.
Go make the playoff. Here's an extra $2 million.
The SEC championship.
There's another $1.5 million. I mean, you can tack. I think more coaches. I think that's the way. If I was an AD, I would be like, it's going to be a contract, and we're going to pay you for your success. We are not going to pay you just to be here and lose us games or whatever. You're going to come here and we'll pay you a fair rate, $5 to $6 million like Coolidge's, and then after that, we're going to increase your pay if you win. That is what I want. That is what I want to see more of. I just would love to see more of that in all of college athletics. More, incentivized contracts. Make an Elite Eight. Okay, here's make a Final Four. Win a national title. Here's $5 million. Do that. I think that's the way it needs to go going forward.
So is Gold your favorite hire then?
No. You take Lane Kiffin out because that's a whirlwind there for LSU. Let's see. Favorite hire. I run through my mind of other guys that have been announced. I don't love Summerall. I feel like it's the same thing that they did with Billy Nate here in Florida. And fans think it's the same thing. Golish, I'm not huge on it. The Chesney, I like the Chesney. I know Chesney, I'm intrigued because he's so far west compared to where he's been over on the east side. Am I missing anybody?
There's John Summerall.
Yeah, I talked Summerall. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Will Stein is going to go to Kentucky. Offensive to Oregon.
Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas. Jim Moore to Colorado State.
Oh, that's the one.
Wow, that's the one.
That's really. I tell you what, Jim Moore was up in exile in Storrs, Connecticut. And look what he did, Jim Moore Jr. up in Storrs. They had themselves, their quarterback was like beating the nation in touchdown.
Joe Fagnano, yeah.
And interception.
He's having a great year.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to transfer to Colorado State. Maybe he does. But that was a great get. Colorado State was in on that early.
Yeah.
Jim Moore, that was, I think, my favorite hire. That was a great hire to get Jim Moore Jr. to come to Colorado State out of UConn, because what he did up there with that program and how bad it was that he won there, if he can win there, I'm pretty sure he can win there.
Because out of like Division I FBS programs, I think UConn has the biggest gap between their football program and their basketball program of any team. And he made them not a football school, but a good.
Let's remember that they were trying to raise money by hosting, having people come host their NFL draft, fantasy drafts in the stadium so that they could raise money. Jim Moore has done a lot of stuff. So I think I love that hire. And then behind that, I'm going to say, we had a terrible Pat Fitzgerald without the restrictions of Northwestern and the academic restrictions. That was
more money too,
but he's got to work through, all the problems.
Well, he already has a reputation, so it's like
he's won the Big Ten. He knows how to win the Big Ten.
Yeah,
that goes a long way. So those two hires are my favorite. What's your favorite?
I think I was going to say I really liked, like I mentioned earlier, I liked Bob Chesney. I think that might be my favorite. I like Eric Morris, North Texas guy. He went to Oklahoma State. I like that a lot too.
Oh, that is the good one.
Yeah.
That is the good one.
Yeah.
Let's see. He has developed. What is his quarterback?
Drew Messemaker. That dude.
Yeah, he's good, but I think he was also like quarterback coach for Patrick Mahomes at one point in time.
Oh, was he really? I did not know that.
If you look up his resume, you'll be surprised at all the quarterbacks that he has had fingerprints on. It's impressive. He is a master
quarterback whisperer. Yeah. And maybe he brings Messemaker to Oklahoma State and they just roll.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that's a nice hire. Lane Kiffin situation. So you brought this up yesterday. You were mad at Lane. I think you said you explain you hate Lane. Here's my question: who is to blame? Is it Lane or is it the era of college football? Because I have a strong opinion on this.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think for Lane, he's made Ole Miss into a bigger brand from a team that was kind of maybe forgotten on the back end of the SEC, especially in terms of football. Like you don't think of them first; you think of course, Alabama and Georgia first, and then a few other teams, and then you get to Ole Miss in terms of SEC teams that at least been around there for a little bit. But he really turned them into a legit program, and they were incredible last year. And they were a team that probably had an outside shot of winning the national championship. They were at least going to make the playoffs. So I think he owes it to that program to be like, hey, we have a chance to do something big. Let me stick around. I built this. I should go and see it through and see if we can win a national championship. And he's not even trying. He's like, oh, let me go to LSU, who sucked this year, and they may have a bigger budget and maybe a better situation in terms of that. But now you're just jumping ship, and well, it's not like you have any morals anyway, but he's jumping ship to do that because he's done the same thing. Like when he jumped ship, well, I mean, he was going to jump ship from FAU. I mean, it's not like he was going to stick around there for a while, but he's had messy breakups with teams like this before, and it's like it's not a surprise,
Yeah. Jared says he's jumped from so many schools.
Yeah.
LSU overpaid. Honestly, what has he ever really done? He's not doing anything special at LSU. No kid is only out to go play for Lane Kiffin. That's all from Jared on the Epic Bank text line 785-899-2222. First of all, I don't blame Lane one bit. I don't blame him.
I mean,
it's the era of college football that you can blame.
Because the team isn't going to be loyal to him.
It's the era of college football. Because what are you supposed to do? If the portal opens this day, you got to build a new team. How in the heck are you supposed to go coach your own team if you want to take a different job? It's impossible. The calendar does not allow it to work. And so I don't blame Lane one bit. This is what he wanted to do. Great. Then, unfortunately, the calendar, there was no way that the AD was going to let him coach there for Ole Miss, that there was no way this was going to happen. They were by the AD to let that go. But this is a problem with the college football era. They have to find a way to quit firing coaches in the middle of the season. They have to find a way to let coaches complete their 10, then fire them, and then allow some time to all work things out. But, because the calendar constantly moving, and portal opening in January, there's in recruiting. It's just too much, and they've got a lot of problems that they got to get fixed.
I think all of that should be frozen until after the national championship. All the recruiting, all the coaching carousels, I think all of that
the
should be called
season needs to end, and then you may start.
Yes, I don't understand.
I agree with that.
It just doesn't make sense why it starts now.
We got to get out of here, but I want to ask one more question to you. You think Ole Miss is going to get penalized? Think about it like when Florida State lost their quarterback. They were unbeaten, won the ACC. Missed the playoff.
Yeah,
It was a 14 play.
I know what you're saying. One of my buddies actually asked me that the other day, or a couple of us, and and we were all like, absolutely not. And then I thought about it, and maybe, but I think he's out of the field. those guys still know how to play. They've done it all year, and I would imagine they wouldn't get penalized too much for losing their coach because there's probably still a guy that's in that system that can coach them and at least drive the boat enough to where they can still play similar.
By the way, is the head coach that has been named as the assistant for Lane Kiffin and will for this time going.
Maybe they get bumped a couple spots, but I don't think entirely.
They won't be punished because they're in the beloved SEC.
That's a great point. He's got it tight. SEC.
Yeah, they won't punish him. You're exactly right, Bill. Appreciate that. That's great. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see that. By the way, also one more because I know kind of originally Nebraska fired defensive coordinator John Butler after one season.
Oh, what?
One season.
Oh,
they were number 2 in the nation pass defense, but they were like 114th in rush defense.
You gotta let it get another shot. That's crazy.
Someone had to fall on the sword, and I think that was the guy that Matt Rule tapped. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was right or not. Well, then you can look and say, well, you lost the quarterback.
Should be quarterback's coach. He should make the team play better.
Maybe so.
I don't know.
I said, I don't know, but that was a interesting day yesterday with John Butler getting fired by Nebraska. All right, we got to get out of here. Well, against the clock. To the walk-off we go.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off grade? Thomas to the 10. First play of overtime. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Well, tonight, Kansas basketball is back in action. We mentioned it with Bill Bierman, but 5th-ranked UConn and Allen Fieldhouse, 8 Central, 7 Mountain Time on Flyover Country 97.9. You can watch it on ESPN2. Listener Kyle had a question early on. He says, have you guys changed your thoughts on KU basketball yet about their defensive efforts after a 3-0 in the Players era in Vegas? I don't know. I don't know if I've changed my mind on it yet.
A little better.
They're good.
They had one good win there, though.
They're just a complete different team when Darren Peterson's on the floor, particularly offensively. And we won't know until later today if he's going to be available. It sounds like he's looking good in practice, Bill Self said. But they played 2 tough games. They have looked better. I still think if Darren Peterson's on the floor, they're a really, really good team. If he's not on the floor, they're a good team.
Yeah, fair enough. Not quite ranked, but like 7 in the Big 12. If Darren Peterson's not out there.
Yeah, without Darren Peterson, he is their offensive juggernaut that they got to have. No, don't get me wrong. Corey Bethune has been great. He has done a ton for them. But I just don't know if you can win at a really high level without having some quarterback. Really
Council's play better, too.
Guard play. Yeah. Well, that's tonight once again. 8 Central, 7 Mountain Time. Flyover Country 97.9. Of course, watch it on ESPN2. And I cannot forget about high school basketball actually tips off tonight in the area. There is one game.
Yeah.
One game tonight. Decatur Community hosting in Oberlin, Tri-Plains Brewster. First game. It's on its own slate there.
I wish I could tell you something about that game.
No, you don't have to. I couldn't tell you much besides just who's playing, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Red Devils and the Vikings. No, it's not the Vikings. The Titans. There we go. The Titans. There you go. Once again, we're out here broadcasting live. I'm here for another 3 more hours at Sherman County Gives Match Day at Price Convention Center. Come out here anytime between now and 7 o'clock tonight and donate to one of the multiple great foundations and things going on in Sherman County. Come check it out. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Back tomorrow on Wednesday. The Blitz.